The PM, Keir Starmer, unveils AI breakthrough to slash planning delays and help build 1.5 million homes. Planning permissions will be sped up as the government rolls out a new AI tool which can scan hundreds of files in seconds, making it easier to make home improvements while turbocharging the plan for change milestone to build 1.5 million homes. Couple highlights. So Extract, which is the name of the tooling. So Extract is the name of the tool. And that's set to digitize planning documents and bring in England's outdated planning system into the 21st century. Breakthrough AI tool to be made available to all councils by spring 2026 using Google DeepMind's Gemini model. So Google DeepMind's Gemini model is their self-learning like AI architecture. You can imagine it like that. That's like the best of the best that's been built in the world, really. Google DeepMind. That's where AlphaFold came from, and all these other breakthroughs in science. And they're now using that same model to aim that at other problems and tasks. And it's great to see that government is adopting private sector technology that's obviously transforming the private sector and adopting that into public sector services like planning. The upside of improving planning could be big for the economy. So I'm actually, pleasantly surprised that Labour brought this in. So Google DeepMind has created Extract, which is a tooling that will be used so that planning officers can expedite the planning process. Go into a little bit more detail here. So for the first time, this cutting-edge technology will help councils convert decades-old handwritten planning documents and maps into data in minutes, and will power new types of planning software to slash the 250,000 estimated hours spent by planning officers each year manually checking these documents. This will dramatically reduce delays and have long plagued the planning system, and that you guys would have heard us bitch about on this podcast many times. Couple more stats. Around 350,000 planning applications are submitted a year in England, yet the system remains heavily reliant on paper documents, some hundreds of pages long. Once submitted, each of these documents needs to be manually validated and approved by a planning officer. In the test trials across Hillingdon, Nuneaton, and Bedford and Exeter councils, Extract digitized planning records, including maps, in just 3 minutes, each compared to the 1 to 2 hours it typically takes manually. This means Extract could process around 100 planning records a day, significantly speeding up the process. So, mega, really. 250,000
Huge.
man hours a year.
I just really hope they have a good training process internally for all of the planning officers and people using it at the other end. But I love it. I think it's the way the world needs to go. I think it's fairly cutting edge for the government to be thinking of it this soon. I think it's great. I mean, we will have to dig out the episodes where we actually talked about planning changes that we could make to improve things. And one of our ideas that we collectively came up and were talking about was simple one. When you're doing a domestic homeowner loft extension, you should just tick a few boxes, see if one's been approved locally on this AI platform, and if it has, tick, you just crack on and get on with it. Or a loft is typically under PD, but if you're doing something that people have done and will continue doing, and you don't really need a person to review that, then just get it accepted and get it moving forward. It's almost like, it's a prime example, our quotation tool on our surveying website. If we have all the information that we can extrapolate from the internet, so whether that be ordnance survey, government detail, EPC data, title land registry, we can give you a quote immediately. If we can't give you a quote immediately, it then goes manual. So only 5% of our quoting actually goes to a person to be manually managed. And that's our AI process that we have in. So I think it's great. I think it's good steps. I like it.
It's also a clear sign of what the government could really do when political incentives aligns with what the people actually want. So there's obviously a huge political push to meet the 1.5 million homes target, and it's only now where they go, let's put some AI in there then. And then we can meet our target. And it's just, there's really obvious things that we could pick out within building control regulation, within planning, all kinds of stuff within the tax code. So much AI could be leveraged to speed up loads of these bureaucratic processes that help all of us in the private sector. It's just, it takes political alignment for them to actually have the bottle to do it. And it's just a shame it's taken this long, because this could have happened years and years and years ago. But I agree with you, Jack. I think the training process there to make sure that's robust. Otherwise, it could cause issues, and if there's big issues caused, then there'll be some some stigma around using AI in planning, and that's just not what we want. It should all be positive and steps forwards.
Yeah, no, I think it's amazing. I think it's definitely what the UK needs. Just trying to flip it on both sides. There is some pros and cons. Obviously, yeah, you touched on the one that if they do fuck it up and everyone loses faith in it, then we could go back 10 years because they'll go, oh, we tried that, it didn't work. But I mean, imagine how quick they could literally do it. Like the decision making process, it goes into one silo. It's either true or false, or it's a naught and a one, and it'd be amazing. But I don't know if it's going to get around the political part. Yes, it means that they'll be able to make more decisions per week, but I still think that the local NIMBYism and the cancel and that, I mean, if you could get rid of the political opinion of each application and it's either black or white, then it would be amazing. But on the flip side of that, that means that so many applications will be going through that. Does it sort of mean that, yeah, they want everyone to build more, but then does it mean the house prices don't go up as much? And, what does that have? Can they control the speed now based on how complicated they make it? But I mean, they can do it can work 24/7. Literally, you're creating an 8-hour job, making it 3 times faster, plus you're putting a computer there to make the decision. It could almost be instant. And it would be so nice to take out the fucking human error bit, because the bit that slows you down is you're trying to spend 2 weeks trying to explain to a planning officer what a fucking report actually means, and they read it wrong, they make an opinion, and then you're fighting them for 2 weeks to try and read it a different way. All that stuff would be great to remove. So just don't fuck it up. Don't try and rush it too quick. Just make it do the householder applications and make it work really well. Like Jack said, make it do loft conversions within 3-4 days, or within 5 days you get your application approved or your PD approved. And if it ticks the box, great. And then just build on it. Don't try and take on the world, because it's like trying to build a system in a business. If you try and take the whole thing on in one go, it's going to have cracks everywhere and it will just fall apart.
I've got one other concern. I've got one other concern about it, yeah. And my only other concern, and this maybe won't happen, maybe will. It's going to be made a lot easier, which hopefully gets rid of subjectivity when they're analysing the documents in a planning case. But it is going to also alleviate time for the planning officers to speculate as well, because they're going to get all the hard work and the heavy lifting done by automatically. Then the speculation's left to kind of be free reign to go, okay, so that's the plan here. What do we think about this, though? Do you think that's right for that area? Or here's some NIMBYism that's come back. It maybe kind of alleviates pressure on delivery. Therefore, they've got more free time to speculate and become almost more politically minded. I don't know if they're going to have to put things in there to make sure that targets are still met and adhered to, and that working hours are spent productively, rather than speculating on the use case and speculating on the idea of doing this kind of whatever the project is, of getting the planning passed, compared to just doing the work and actually making sure that it adheres to the national planning framework.
Take the technical part out of the way, get the technical part ticked off in terms of, B&G and all the rest of the shit that's got to be done, the ecological stuff, the bats, or get all the surveys done, get all that ticked off, that ticks all the boxes, and then just deal with what does it look like? Who's it affecting?
It'll be interesting, man. I mean, I suppose there's not too much we can really hash out here until we know and see what it looks like. It'd be great if we could get Dermot on again, who we had before, the planning consultant that we had on a previous episode. Maybe get him on to see what he thinks at some point once there's more known about the actual tool and how they're going to use it. But all I know so far is it's going to be the planning officer will have this AI assistant that they plug into, upload all the documents. It's going to spit out all of its high-level response and recommendations, and then they can use that tooling to just crack on and get to work straight away. Hopefully, that's what they do, and don't just use that free time they'll have to sit on their laurels, which is another. So there needs to be good incentives there to make sure that they're actually still working hard and getting stuff done.
I mean, if you think about this tool, if you put in your postcode and the house I'm sat in right now is on an estate with 50 houses, yeah. So there's a house type. So there's, let's say 6 house types, and some of them have already gone to planning and done various different things. Imagine if you could click in your postcode, go on the planning portal and say, I want to submit a planning application. And then it brings up your house type and you select which one's yours, which is like the relevant house. And then it shows you what everyone else did that's got the same house type as you in planning already. Because we've had people that done rear extensions, side extensions, loft conversions, converted their garage to resi, get like living accommodation. And then you could just click, I want to do that. And then the system looks at the application and any potential, things that happened in that process, what they needed. It comes back and says, you need to do this, this, and this. Or if it goes, yep, all fine, you need PD, and you click a button, green light, crack on with your work. Imagine that.
Yeah.
And also, if you were looking at new build and ground up, you could look at the 150 house types that have already been approved in that area, in that 3.5 kilometer radius of that site, and you could choose a style that you could take a style as a sub base and then just build and bolt onto it. I mean, we're going out a few years, I reckon, but I mean, land's scarce, right? So it is. Well, they say it's scarce. It's 97% hasn't been built or something, isn't it, in the UK? So there's plenty of legs.
Yeah, mate. I mean, using AI, man, like I think I said on the last episode, we've just contracted an AI guy or a software integration specialist to come into the business and hash through all of our softwares and our processes and find quick ways to do things. He's just finished the first project he's done for us, and I can show you guys at some point if you want. And it is a game changer, like a game changer. And we've brought it into the acquisitions division, so that essentially we've set up this thing so that every night it scrapes all new listings that come on within our criteria. And then it drops in all the information, everything we need from the contacts for the agent, average sold price in the area, the purchase price, the property link, all that kind of stuff, whether it's auction, not auction, the terms and all that, into a CRM, literally top down, ranked by value, so that then the boys can just go through really quickly in the morning, high level. It either progresses to the next stage, doesn't progress to the next stage, quick appraisal, booking a viewing, etc. But it's all dropped in super, super quick and efficient. And we can add new maps to the tooling and just add a link. And then it's going to scrape that next batch each day. So I'm seeing the benefits of just bringing in automation at these different points. And fuck me, that's going to save like hundreds of hours a month, like hundreds of hours of like all the manual looking and searching around for the right things. This thing now just does it automatically every morning. Just here's another 20 to look at. Here's another 20 to look at. So there's so much you can leverage here.
In 2010, when we were setting up my previous building firm, we built a bit of code that scraped all the applications online, which was like quite a good thing to do at the time, because it was quite a new way of using data. But we were scraping all the websites and all the councils we wanted to work for with keywords, and then building it into a spreadsheet. And then every week we're then sending letters out to people to try and get the phone to ring. So there's ways you can use data manually, but yeah, if you can use AI for that, it'd be amazing. And then you might as well have an AI bot talk to them and send out letters, follow up.
That's exactly what we're doing next. So the next project is to build a sales assistant. And then I've listed loads of projects like for this guy to do. So he's just got loads of things to tackle. And it's just game changing, man. It's just like it's like 5% improvements to each like department as we bring this in, which over the course of the year, I'm excited to see what our processes look like in a year's time as we roll in all this kind of stuff. So super exciting. Any business owners out there, if you enjoy content like this, then make sure you go and subscribe to the Ground Up Podcast.